I'm not forsaken, never alone. The God of heaven calls me his own. He's not just seated upon the throne. I know he's right here inside of my home. I've got a treasure here in my heart, and in my weakness it won't depart. I have a savior.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the WSOD Talk Show. Yes, I'm your host today, and I am Jennifer Hudson. Today, we're going to be having a very, very special guest. He dedicated his life to civil rights activism and won the case that enforced interracial education. I want to welcome Thurgood Marshall.
We good, like we should. Thurgood, you good, we good, leading like you should. Thurgood, you good, we good, leading like you should.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Okay, let's get right into it. So I know people often call you Mr. Civil Rights, but before your career, you were just a kid in Baltimore. What motivated you to start for your advocacy for civil rights?
Honestly, you can blame my father, William, for that. He never said he wanted me to be a lawyer, but he turned me into one at the dinner table. He challenged every statement I made. He said, if I couldn't back up what you said, just shut your mouth. I wasn't always a saint, though. In high school, I was a bit of a class clown. As punishment, the principal would send me to the basement and make me read the Constitution. By the time I was graduated, I knew that thing memorized. But I didn't think I would actually spend the rest of my life trying to make people live up to it.
Wow, that's definitely inspirational. You wanted to attend University of Maryland for law school at the beginning of your career, but they wouldn't let you in because of your race. How did that rejection shape you?
It stung, sure, but it was the best thing that happened because it sent me to Howard University.
Okay.
That's where I met Charles Hamilton Houston. He was a social engineer. He told me that a lawyer was either a social engineer or a parasite to society. He didn't just teach us the law, he taught us how to use it as a weapon.
Wow.
Funny thing, a few years later, my first big civil rights case was Murray v. Pearson. I sued the University of Maryland for doing the exact same thing they done to me, and we won.
Oh, okay, yes. Congrats. Well, I see, Mr. Marshall, you spent years traveling through the South for NAACP, but often in places where you weren't welcome. What was that struggle like?
It kind of felt like walking on a tightrope. I'd be in some town in Mississippi or Tennessee, working on a case during the day and hiding in different houses at night. I spent a lot of time on the floor of cars covered in blankets. The goal was simple: make the law work for those who was designed to exclude. We were chipping away at the separate but equal lie of Plessy v. Ferguson. People see the victories now, but they don't see the nights I spent wondering if I'd make it to the morning train.
Okay, I hear you. Now we're going to pause right here. Are y'all having issues finding good, reliable, or cheap insurance? Well, make sure y'all pay attention to this commercial break.
Walk with me. When we were going to, I'm Shadrach.
I'm Meshach.
I'm the baby goat.
Whoa! Walk with me. When we were thrown into the fire, God was our protection, so we made it out.
Take it in. And he can be yours too. No money down.
Look, and if you want this insurance, just go on ahead and call 1-800 Jesus Save. There's a footman in the fire.
Yes, make sure y'all get that cheap insurance. Now, back to our interview. In 1954, you faced your biggest challenge, Brown versus Board of Education. What was the core of your argument?
Well, contrary to popular belief, it wasn't just about books or desks. It was about the psychological damage of segregation. We brought in the doll test to show that when you tell a black child from the day that they're born that they belong in an inferior place, it creates a sense of inferiority that may never be undone. I told the court that the only way to get equality was to end the separation, period.
Yes, that's such a powerful statement. I know that you were the first black person to serve as Solicitor General and then as Supreme Court Justice. How did it feel to go from the men arguing before the bench to the man sitting behind it?
It was a different kind of way. When LBJ appointed me in 1967, he told me it was the right thing to do, right time to do it. On the bench, I saw my role as being the voice for the voiceless. I knew what it was like being the underdog. I knew what it looked like at the back of a police car or in a segregated courtroom. It was my job to remind my colleagues that the Constitution isn't a static piece of parchment. It's a living document that has to evolve as our sense of justice evolves.
Wow, you certainly have a way with words. If you could leave one message for the advocates of today, what would it be?
The law is not a gift, it's a tool. It doesn't work unless you make it work. And don't wait for the right time. The time is always right to do what is right.
Okay, yes. Everybody, round of applause. Thank you so much for coming on the talk show.
Of course.
Yes,
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I want everybody to realize how much of an amazing man he is. He won 29 of the 32 cases he argued before the Supreme Court. He successfully ended legal segregation in public schools. And he served as Supreme Court Justice for 24 years. Yes, okay. What you have accomplished has truly opened a gateway to new reformations.
Thank you.
Next week, we'll be talking to a different civil rights activist that you personally helped speak up, and we'll be featuring a new host. So thank y'all, love y'all, and see y'all next week. And happy Black History Month.